Oi, oi. Let us go. No, we don't want to do that. Go on then. How are we keeping all? We are T minus 29 minutes even away from a qualifying session. Let's go. I'm here for it. I cannot wait. And there are plot lines, yeah. Between now and last time, I've watched one Ted Kravitz and his sprint notebook, and he had something to say that I think are quite illuminating, per se. He talked about Red Bull's upgrades, saying as follows that they didn't even bring too many. What? That they bought a floor edge, and that's about it. That they changed the cooling louvers or whatever they're called. You know those gun barrels that they changed at the start of the season to make look like the W13 was. Apart from that, that's all that they've done. They've gone back to what Adrian Newey said that they should have been doing, barking up his design philosophy tree. No longer. Bloody changed it back to what Adrian Newey wanted, and now look how bloody quick they have got some thoughts. What's going on living on the edge? Barack, Miami, David V, Daniel, Hybrid, Visual, Genie, Chiba. This is going to get chaotic, I'm telling you. I cannot wait for this again. We are T minus 28 minutes for probably one of the most important qualifying sessions that I've seen in recent memory. Going to get a bit techie, this. Can Lando Norris turn this around? Can they set up the car? Remember, it's not parc fermé just yet. It will be, though, shortly thereafter qualifying completes. It's going to get techie, this. I don't know where I stand on it. Again, I will never, ever... Let me set the table this way because it's probably easier best. Definitely hit the like, Chiba. Do you know what I mean? How you doing, Ibiza? Listen. Never ever in your life, unless you are invested in losing money, unless that's your first order priority, do you back against Max Verstappen. Here's what I mean. If I were a betting man and if I'd had my brave pill, I would have put a very chunky bet on one Maximilian Verstappen to win the championship. This time last week, I had a look at his odds and the bookmakers had him at anywhere between 62 and 63%. What does that mean? That means that if they won a simulation of the championship over the next 6 races 100 times, that they're saying that Max Verstappen would win the championship 63 of those times. Ergo, you're not going to get a lot of money back, but still you would get some money back if indeed you're going to stake some money, if indeed you are a betting person. However, now guess what? Earlier on in the season, when Max Verstappen was dominating, when he won 7 of the first 9 or whatever it was, his odds was 78%. And again, with the resurgence and the resurgence of Lando Norris even, and the convergence of McLaren as a team, their car looking like ostensibly the quickest machine for as near as makes no difference the past 3 or 4 races, right? God tier levels in at the Dutch Grand Prix, God tier levels of speed from the MCL 3.8 at Singapore, Baku 2. They look like the quickest car. And so it seemed like Lando Norris was on a charge and that his odds correspondingly even, were doing one of these, shrinking by the day before or during the autumn break even. Lest we forget, Maximilian Verstappen started the season at 78%, saying that if, again, simulation settings, they run a simulation 100 times, Max Verstappen would win 78 of them. As recent as the autumn break, that 78% shrunk for Max Verstappen down to 62%. Lando Norris's odds, did one of these, were about circa 20%, went all the way up to 42%. They were saying, the odds makers, that if we run this simulation 100 times, that Lando Norris will win 42 out of 100. Now, on the back of this sprint, what do you think's happened? If indeed you were going to put anybody down on Max Verstappen, you should have done it then. Why? Because now Max Verstappen's odds straight back up to, it was 62%. Remember, start of the season 78, was 62% over the autumn break, right back up after that sprint performance to 78%. Lando Norris is gonzo. And you know what? Shout out to Will Buxton, because I heard that dude on a podcast recently saying, Lando Norris, can Lando Norris win? Well, it's not a question of can. I think he will win. Will Buxton's crystal ball apparently is just as murky as the next person's. I don't think Lando Norris can. I'm desperately hoping that I'm being a bit premature because it was only a sprint, only 2 points lost. We came into this weekend, the delta between Messrs Norris and Verstappen in the championship lead was, of course, 52 points. Now, post the sprint race, it's 54. All is not lost, therefore, particularly if Lando Norris can nail himself a decent qualifying session, For North American fans, they're plugging this Longhorn game, are there? Is there a college game or something going on in Texas over the weekend? Pat McAfee in situ, Texas Longhorns, mate. It's gonna get a bit techie, eh? Not that I know anything about football. You know what I mean? America's game. It's gonna get a bit techie. Though. You can see them going hard, eh? College sports isn't something that we have over in the UK. People don't go crazy for it. But apparently it is game day and it is the Longhorns versus somebody and it's a big deal in Texas. Very, very big. Georgia versus Texas. Look at that. Who knew? NCAA college football settings. But I digress. Right, look, here's what I mean to say about Lando Norris. Of course, he can potentially win, but guys and girls like Will Buxton coming out and saying he will win as if they somehow have the inside line into the future and what the racing gods have planned is an absolute nonsense. Do not trust anybody that tries to predict the future. Do you know what I mean? I deal in probability as an accountant. And of course, you've got to devolve to the sports actuarials, aka the odds makers. And they say that if you run this as at now, the odds will change. This is a moving goalpost, an ever evolving automotive pugilistic Rubik's Cube. But as at the 19th of the 10th, 2024, the odds makers say that Lando Norris is going to be a loser. He's going to finish second and that Maximilian Verstappen has the whip hand. You're a legend. Thank you so much, far too kind. Good morning from Japan, konnichiwa. Got home from hunting, caught a deer and 3 rabbits. Let's go, Papaya Coloured Team. A little donation for the channel. You're a legend, so thank you so much. I appreciate you. I need to learn. You know what the joke is? I did study some Japanese at university, but because I was noddy and I was too concerned with sports and other things, I dropped the ball. Can I count Ichi ni san go? I can. And I watched a lot of Death Note. I can say some of the phrases from that. I can't remember. Put me under pressure. I was going to try and do some Japanese, but I've got none. Sumimasen. Watashi wa David Cameron desu ka. That's about all that I have in Japanese. Spanish I can still do a little bit. Me llamo Cameron. German maybe a little bit, but anyway, I digress. You guys don't want to hear me talk language. You want to hear me talk some F1. Turtle Dove, you're a legend. Aussie Rules Football is the best. I know. I've got a really good mate, legend that is Harry B. He still lives in us, and he got me into I think this was the Aussie Rules year. This is the year then was a massive. The Bulldogs won, and they weren't supposed to win. I watched that finals, a little bit of it. That game is huge SEC. I know. I need to get into the college sports in the USA. Like I said, is the next level. We are T-minus 21 minutes away from a qualifying session, and I'm talking all sports, not named Formula One. Of course, you are, Cameron, on an F1 stream. How very dare! Those Aussie Rules guys are beasts. Yeah, there's loads of sport. I mean, maybe I need to diversify and start talking to other sports. People keep asking me to talk about soccer. The English Premier League, but you know, if you're going to do something properly, sometimes you need to give yourself your life to that sport. I don't want to be a jack of all trades necessarily. I want to be a master of this one, the one that F's. Jonathan Wheatley, there's a really good. Oh my, you know what? I'm not even going to say the Jonathan. We'll save the Jonathan Wheatley chat for another time because he's gone across to become CEO or chief team principal of Audi. Right, getting a good one in Jonathan Wheatley. A really good one. Eidectic memory settings. You'll never walk alone. Let's go, Macon. Stream leakage. Are you getting stream leakage on my end? I hope not. I hope not. Oh yeah, thank you. We can't have that. I appreciate the heads up. I swear that I muted that for the last stream. Cameron's too noddy. I think Max came into the world thinking he could win anything, and he did. Tony, this is attitude, isn't it? I respect it a lot. I think that I just can't back against him. Hey, you just don't back against him, eh? This behaviour in this manner, he comes into every single race weekend expecting to win. I know he's Lando's mate, but I know that he looks at. He's got to be looking at Lando like, who's? How dare this dude think that he can beat me? What has Lando Norris got for Max Verstappen really? Okay, so over one race, Lando, of course, can beat Max Verstappen like anybody else on the grid. Checo will have his 15 minutes of fame from time to time at Baku as an example where he roundly outperformed one Max Verstappen. But over the course of a 24 race season, he normalises for his peaks and troughs. You know what I mean? Shouldn't be able to win an Imola, nor should you be able to win Spain given those circumstances, nor should you be able to nail it in Canada. And Max Verstappen did each and every single time. So the naysayers that still want to do one of these, close their eyes to who Max Verstappen is. Like, leave them to it. They can crack on. Do you know what I mean? If they want to sacrifice truth, value and objectivity at the altar of their partisanship and confirmation bias, then have at it. Do you know what I mean? I do indeed fancy myself some F1, right? Genius says Lando being proven wrong on his best car statement. I know it's one of those ones that will live long in the memory. Many years ago, Lando remarked to Lewis, I think, that anybody can, or maybe it was a presenter or an interviewer or a journo, that anybody can win it's easy to win. Just looking at the Red Bull exits, the churn, the plethora of God tier personnel, key man and woman dependency that have left Rob Marshall 2023, Dan Fallows, they've missed out of that list of Sky, Lee Stevenson, Adrian Newey, Jonathan Wheatley, Will Courtenay. There's been loads of people leave that team over the last 24 months, eh? They've missed off Fallows off there. Imagine. Fallows, Marshall, Stevenson, Courtenay, Newey, Wheatley. Like, what's the point? What is the point? Techie and Jonathan Wheatley's a god tier one, so too Adrian Newey, of course. It's going to get techie. 168 if you're watching Kokona. Do me a favour and smash the like as well. T-minus 17. One suspects it might get a bit busy in here later on because this qualifying session is pivotal, instrumental now, seminal as far as moments in defining which way this championship's going to go in 2024. I'm telling you. They've got to tinker around with setups, right? The problem for this sprint was that the likes of Mercedes, whilst being super fast in quali, the sprint shootout, as they call it, they'd sacrificed race pace. And when I say race pace, I'm talking about being consistently quick over the race. Their tyre deg did one of these as their pace did one of these. The race was too long for them. Similar story with Lando, actually, who also fell foul of some very serious rates of tyre deg. It's going to get techie. You take downforce off and you're going to be quicker on the straights and quicker in quali. But then at some point, you're going to pay a tax for that in the race, are you not? When tyre deg is the beast and the dragon that you need to slave for. It's going to get techie, ladies and gents. I'm telling you. That's why they were so quick for the speed trap. That's why Lewis Hamilton could have put it on pole. God tier set to one, and of course he was... he's a brilliant peddler, is Lewis. Still at the age of 39, soon to be 40 years old. But you know what I mean? Lando being proven wrong. McLaren F1 race, literally, props, Brett. Max had it beaten into him to be a champion. And 2024 is different now, but I could tell you some of my parents were legends here, but I could tell you some of my parents, my folks' parenting practices wouldn't be tolerated in 2024. That's just the truth. It's a different time. I'll tell you this story quickly. We studied it. I remember back in my my days of academia, we studied a Shakespearean play called, we're getting techie, I'm going full left settings, tangenting massively with a view not to bury the lead, looking at the Red Bull bods, showing the FIA engineers exactly how you can use that, how you can toggle the bloody bonkers. You could just see the Red Bull boys explaining how to use that bib tray adjuster thing. Bloody Nora, that's techie, that is. Chaos. Shouldn't be doing that in part for, mate. Measure for Measure. There's a brilliant piece in Measure for Measure where they talked about the interlocking sections between common law, divine law, and what's the other law? Moral law. and how they all change over time, right? 1,000 years ago, the things that you could do then and that were legal to do are very different from the things that you can do now. Even 30, 40 years ago, right? The things that those people were getting up to, even how they discipline their children, us, very different, right, from what you can do now. So I say all that to say this: common law, divine law, and moral law, and the interlocking sections between those three are an ever-moving set of goalposts, right? In 100, 200, 300 years' time, there are things that will be illegal then that are perfectly legal now. And so I don't want to look back. I don't want to put the revisionist history lenses on and say that, do you know what I mean? I can't condemn either my parents or Jos Verstappen for some of his parent practices then at a time when what was acceptable is very different to what it is now. It's hard to, we shouldn't use the revisionist history and judge what they were doing then as reprehensible just because we've got a completely different moral law, what's the word that I'm looking for? Moral law meter, I suppose. 181 of you watching concurrently. We're talking all things with T minus 13 minutes on the clock until we get ourselves a cheeky qualifying session. I'm here for it, I'm telling you. Liam Lawson rocking up with his girlfriend. Mate, stay focused, Liam. Stay focused. You've got a job to do here. Replacing Ricciardo in this team, having stood in 5 races in 2023 after Ricciardo broke his hand. Of those 5 races, of the races in which Tsunoda finished and Lawson finished, Lawson beat Tsunoda twice, and that has to mean something, eh? That has to mean something, Lewis is. He does still look fit for the sport, so does Alonso, true champions. Adania, I can't even get into my 39, 40 years old bag. Said this to Shez the other day. How many 40-year-old champions have there been in F1 ever in its now 74-year history? Oh, wait, you guys think amongst yourselves. Have a guess. Have a guess in the chat how many 40-year-old champions. Cameron's story time, Joe. You're a legend, sir. Interesting point is the list of management people still at Red Bull Racing. There are people years, dog years, and Lewis years. True. You guys tell me in the chat how many. In fact, should we get up a cheeky vote? Most of you guys who are regulars would have heard me trot out. This is like my favourite on Cameron's racing now. Might want to cancel that. 162, 58% of you think that Maximilian Verstappen has got the whip hand. 13% of you say Lando. 17% of you say Lewis. Blimey, only 13% of you say Lando. Jeez. Gonna get techie. Go on then. Let's do one of these. Let's get a cheeky poll out. 3. Brett Bacon says 1. Go on then. There's been 3 champions to win the championship, drivers at 40 years old or older. Those, of course, Giuseppe Farina in 50. Banjo won a few, but the latest that he won, the last time he won was 57. And then the only other one is Jack Brabham in 66. Doesn't happen a lot. And most of those happened 100 years ago, right? So, again, and Mansell was old. Mansell was like 38, 39 when he won in 1992. Alain Prost was getting on when he won in 93 also. There have been old. Matt Damon Hill in 96 was quite old, but none of those were 40. And Lewis Hamilton in 2025, when he jumps in that red car, will be 40 years old. That has to mean something. As much veganism and healthy practices and going to the gym every day. Do you know what I mean? You can't... I don't know. Father Time is undefeated, undisputed. I suppose if anybody can defeat Father Time as a worthy adversary, it would be a Sir Lewis Hamilton. He's hoping he can. I mean, if he gets 8, oh my gosh, at Scuderia Ferrari alongside Charles Leclerc. Oh, the humanity. Matthew, you're a legend, sir. Thank you so much. Far too kind as always. The RB20 is reasonably well balanced. It's not the fastest, but it will take a balanced car. But you sound like Adrian Newey, Matthew Brown. Do you know what I mean? Balance is everything. Speed will come. I don't disagree with that. You remind me of a passage, I think, from the Adrian Newey book, How to Build a Car, where he says that what he'd always want to give to his drivers is confidence by virtue of the not insubstantial balance of the car, predictability, drivability settings. Because then when you give that car to the goatiest ones like a Lewis or a Max, they will be able to extract that extra tenth by virtue of their confidence in their car. But if they're driving a bloody tractor like W13 and they don't have any confidence and it's not predictable, then you have yourself a problem, eh? It's always going to get techie. They're going to lose confidence, lose a tenth or more because they can't push the car. Just like George Russell in quali, eh? Saw George Russell struggling. He had all the speed on the straight, but every single time on combined exits from an apex, he was struggling massively. Oof. So much work. T minus 10 minutes. A lot of work going on Checo Perez's car, but they're just tape. Lest we forget the upgrade. Oh my God, they're so happy with this car all of a sudden. What is going on? You know what? I really want to put on my tinfoil hat here. How all of a sudden are Red Bull just the fastest again? I just don't know. Meanwhile, at Mercedes, the boys and girls on Brackley and Brixworth are desperately trying to put downforce on that car so that they don't run out of tyres. George ran out of rears in the sprint. Lewis Hamilton ran out of fronts. Like, what are we doing? Talking of balance, where has Mercedes' balance gone? Remember a couple of races back when they were world beaters, Belgium and bloody... Like, Lewis won 2 out of 3 all of a sudden at Silverstone. Their car was super quick. But again, this is one of circumstance, right? Andrea Stella said that they didn't expect their dominance to continue, that they'd said a gazillion times that Singapore and Baku, Austria, those were tracks that were always going to suit their car. Now we get to Koto and it's different for them. Red Bull back on top, ladies and gents. Bloody Nora. Are they using faster tape? I hope so, Macon. I mean, if it's Red Bull Racing, you would presume so. They push every other boundary within an inch of its life. So why not? That 225, if you're watching, we are T-minus 8 minutes away from a Q1. And I am here for it, ladies and gents. Jeannie says, I don't think they're the fastest. They're still not great. But they gave Max some balance. I think that we're going to see in a minute, right? This is the beauty of this qualifying session. T-minus 5 minutes away from a cheeky qualifying start. And I cannot wait. For the avoidance of doubt, the odds. Who've the odds makers got as favourite? If we are indeed trying to predict the future, they have Max Verstappen as the favourite, 2-1, 1 in 3 times, 33% of the time they say he wins. Oh, the humanity! Maximilian Verstappen 25%. Sorry, Lando Norris 25%. Max Verstappen favourite, 33% of the time they say he wins. Oh, the humanity! Charles Leclerc in some places. Again, 20% of the time, like Lando Norris. Oh, the humanity. Next best is Lewis. 8% of the time. Flipping Nora. Max Verstappen has the whip hand, ladies and gentlemen. It was just clean air. But was it just clean air, Adrian? Because remember, look, Lando Norris's car was always, I think, there is a downforce story to be told, right? The more downforce that you tack onto that car, the better the race pace, the better chance you stand at slaying for the dragon that is tyre degradation during the race over a race distance. However, in qualifying, there's an equal and opposite downside, right? That's why those Mercedes boys were so quick, and that's why the boys and girls from Brackley and Brixworth are in that garage at the moment, trying to tack on more downforce points in absolute terms, because they can't afford to be, you know what I mean? Speed in quali. Speed is nothing without control. Very famously said by a tyre manufacturer back in the day. And if they can't endure in race because they can't slay for the dragon, that is tyre deg, then Houston, they have themselves a problem in Mercedes. That's why they're fumbling around in the garage right now, trying to tack on more downforce to ensure that they don't completely lose the tyres. Oh, and by the way, look at them. If you guys are on Sky Sports F1 right now, they're showing a very cheeky build that Lando Norris. Don't do this. They're playing. For those of you who aren't watching this or watching a different stream or internationally syndicated broadcast, they're playing Lose Yourself, Eminem. Yeah, well, I disagree with this, I'll be honest with you. They're playing Lose Yourself with Phil to hype and build for the championship fight between Messrs Norris and Verstappen. Max needs a worthy adversary. Enter stage left Sir Lewis, Carl Davidson, Hamilton. It cannot be Lando Norris. He's too green. He doesn't understand what it takes. He's not prepared to pay the tax. Winning championships and races, therefore, isn't for everybody, not with any sort of conceit. You've got to give something up. This Eminem song, one of the greatest rap songs ever pulled together, Lose Yourself per 8 Mile, speaks very explicitly to that, right? Very poignantly to that. There is something to be given. You need to take your opportunity. You only get one shot. You might only get one shot, Lando Norris. And in the words of the legendary boxing trainer Angelo Dundee to one Sugar Ray Leonard, you are blowing it, son. You are blowing it. Already giving away far too many points. You can't afford to have so many mistakes all the time. All the time. As Nero's makes no difference every single race. Eminem is performing. I heard Eminem was performing. He did. Maybe he needs to. I would implore him not to do Lose Yourself though, because Lando Norris is losing himself, but not in a good way. Get your early lights, Coyote. You're an absolute legend. See it there. Coyote, how do you like your fun? 235 of you watching concurrently. We're T minus 4 minutes away from qualifying at round 19 at the USA Grand Prix in COTA, circuit of the Americas, Texas. It's going to get techie here. Embarrassing, to be honest. Verstappen is probably laughing. I think Verstappen deep down is laughing. I think he's just got Lando and the manners. This is the honest truth. Knows what he's going to do. Doesn't really pose him a threat. Even when he had the fastest car, Max still beat him more times than not. Between Miami, the points difference was 52. And then however many races at COTA, they go in 52 points all the time between those 2 points in time even. Lando Norris has had the better car by miles. What are we doing here? I wonder what MBS thinks about Rapid. Oh my gosh, Coyote. We're going to go there, Coyote. I saw MBS. This dude makes me itch. I'm not even going to lie to you. I saw MBS talking to Max Verstappen, the winner of the sprint. I was like, for God's sake, save me, please. I've got no time for this. Will Perez get knocked out in Q1 or Q2? Oh no. Oh, the humanity. What are we doing here? I need to get a poll. Maybe. All right. Should we get a poll out? Where did he finish? He just barely finished in the top 10, didn't he? Flipping Nora. Cameron, my Max fanboy hat off. I don't think I will put him as the favourite. But I have more confidence of a win than I did before the break. RB20 isn't fast, but it's well balanced. A couple of you were saying that it's not fast, but it's well balanced. Look, as far as the race, they set that car up for the race, right? And as far as balance, their issue pre the auto, this was always going to happen as far as Red Bull were concerned. I, though, was concerned with this ruling that they were banning this bib gate or the T-tray adjustable thing. If indeed they'd been adjusting it, then there was always going to be a tax to pay as far as qualifying for Max Verstappen and Red Bull, if indeed, as alleged, that they had been using it. Why? Because again, you can run your car super low in qualifying and they can adjust the ride height upwards to account for the extra weight that they need to carry through to the race. Christian Horner, of course, says that they never touched it. This is all nonsense. How would they be able to do it during park for? It's techie. No one knows really. And if the FIA want to prosecute and punish Red Bull, then they need some proof that they have been using it. But it's all open source, which is weird. That all this stuff gets uploaded to a database that all of the teams and related parties can see. So I don't know how somebody didn't see this already. Rumour, word on the F1 curb, insinuation from Martin Brundle yesterday was that Will Courtenay, who's one that's leaving, again, God tier F1 mind, who's leaving Red Bull to go across to McLaren next year, that potentially he's been talking to Zach Brown, and that's the only way that they found out. Oh, the humanity. How techie do you want to get, eh? Bear with me. How techie do you want to get? 219 if you're watching concurrently as we're about to embark upon a Q1 for round 18, 19. 6 races to go for the 2024 championship Q1. Let's go. Let's get you up some metrics so that we can see what we're talking about. Crafty says he's never seen a busier pit lane in his life. Everyone's there, right? Stars come out for COTA. You know what I mean? Oh, bear with me. Talk amongst yourself if we're quiet. let's go. Finally, we get a green light, says Crofty. We're about to embark ourselves on the most important qualifying session of the year. And I'm here for it. Bear with, talk amongst yourself if we're caught. I'm just going to get up some... All right. Let's go. Liam Lawson a bit under pressure. Says... Says Martin Brundle. That's a bit harsh. I think that's not very nice, is it? Okay, let's go. All right, it's open. Bear with. I promise I'm coming. I'm just getting... Here we go. It's going to get techie. We are go, and I'm just getting these metrics. So one-man band over here. Bear with. I apologise. I know it looks very unprofessional, but do you know what I mean? I would prep it. I would pre-prep if I could, but I can't. Again, courtesy of our mates over at Multiviewer. Now we have ourselves... There we have ourselves some metrics, and I need to hunker down. Let's go. All right, ready. Of course. All right, we're good to go. Excuse my silence. Just sorting out. You know, when you're a perfectionist, you need everything to line up properly. I think they call that OCD sometimes. We are. Already Liam Lawson's getting beef with... You don't really want Fernando Alonso beef, I don't think. You don't want that. Excuse me, my OCD. Right, let's go. We have ourselves 15 minutes on the docket for this, the Q1 session of COTA 2024. And this is going to be important, ladies and gents. I'm not going to tell any lies. This matters. 339 of you in the chat can currently do me a favour and smash a like. Liam, you're too kind, sir. You're far too kind. Over the moon for Max Verstappen. Sprint win class. And he was a bit good, wasn't he? And I'm anticipating him to be a bit good today here as well. He's just... COTA, look. The stats around COTA, you guys have seen this, autistic. Yeah, I think it's OCD. I feel like it's been ages since last quali session. What's going on, kidney? It has been ages, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. Perez is the F1 equivalent. Oh my gosh, you guys are killing Checo Perez. But he deserves. He's a bit of a numpty for putting up with me. Macon, behave yourself. That's I should be giving you that for you guys putting up with me. Who's this? Professional golfer and Alex Albon's partner. Fair play. Those papaya Alpines. Oh my God. What happened to Mercy? To Merck. What happened to Merck is that they went hard for qualifying, didn't they? And they paid the price, a tax even, as far as their tyre deck over the course of the race distance. Making your proper legend, Coyote. Proper. Different gravy. You guys make me feel humble, man. 13 minutes, 40 seconds remaining on the clock Q1. So now the question is, how do you approach this if you're a team? Let me ask you guys the question. Do you go out early and get a banker when the track isn't as evolved as it will become the end of this session? Or do you put all your eggs in the basket of going out and doing a one lap quali late on? Not Lando Norris, 134.029. He's not having... what happened to him a couple of races ago, nor what happened to Lewis Hamilton for the sprint shootout. A yellow flag courtesy of Franco Colapinto doing him over. putting paid his hopes of a cheeky pole. Sainz goes, these Ferraris look quick as well. We haven't even talked about this. Ferrari look well quick, don't they? Well quick. Especially in the hands of Carlos Sainz, eh? Not modern day Jean lazy. I mean, he's not good enough, is he? Charles makes too many mistakes of the unforced variety. Someone once said, somebody very wise, Kyrie, get that banker. I hear you, Kyrie. Oscar needs to ensure that he does that. I know, because he flopped it in the sprint shootout, didn't he? Oh, Indiana Jones settings for this McLaren, eh? I know it's not a McLaren, it's a bloody Alpine. Look at him. Is he the Drift King, Pierre Gasly? What's going on there? Time lost. Liam, you're a legend. The relief I felt. I know. Liam, I think everything's honestly, I think everything's changed. I want to do a tinfoil hat conspiracy at some point because I'm not sure if I buy into it. Do you know what I mean? How Red Bull struggled all this time and then all of a sudden when it matters most, now the car's fast again. Do you remember earlier on in the season, 11 minutes remaining in this Q1 session? Do you remember earlier on in the season, somebody, Lando Norris, I want to say, was chasing down Max Verstappen at either Imola or Spain. And the word in the F1 paddock was that Liberty Media had a word with Red Bull. Full conspiracy theory settings now. I'm absolutely wearing my tin for that. But the word on the F1 curb from some insiders was that they weren't buying that McLaren were so close to Red Bull all of a sudden. Do you remember that? And that they'd conspired to make the race end very climactic, and it was much closer than it was. Because for a while in that race, Max Verstappen, the Red Bull in Max Verstappen hands was like, it was down the road, wasn't it? And then all of a sudden, towards the end of the race now, they wanted to get fast. It just felt a bit dodgy. And this feels like the same thing again to me. It just feels dodgy. I don't know. I'm probably barking at the wrong tree. Do you know what I mean? Truth is stranger than fiction and all that, but it just feels like, here we go. Max Verstappen, bloody Nora. Purple, Max Verstappen, sector 3, incoming. There we go. There's a Max Verstappen. Bloody Nora. 25-1. Too quick. Mate, that car all of a sudden is quick again, eh? Am I being a conspiracy theorist? Do you indulge me in my tinfoil hat wearing? Liam and Yuki. Go on then, let me have a look at what's going on here, because I'm getting too Peter, you're far too kind. Oh, the humanity indeed. I need to resurrect that one. I haven't been using it often enough. It's me and oh, the humanity as a slogan aren't cozy bedfellows at the moment. Some people, would you believe, think that it's outrageous that I would use that phrase. The etymology or the source of it, of course, being when the Hindenburg burned down. That was the first time somebody used it. But people want to believe that that word now belongs or is synonymous even with that tragic event in human history, and that people like me shouldn't use it in the way that I want to use it because they own the word somehow. Gatekeeping the language, that is the English one. What do we do? 9 minutes remaining. Max Verstappen currently topping your timesheets on a 133.69. 0.7 as near as makes no difference. Fast day, jeez. 3 tenths down the road, Lando Norris. This doesn't bode well at all. Even Checo's getting in on the act. Only 3 tenths adrift of his teammate. Hulkenberg getting in on the act now over 133.87. In your drop zone currently, Lance Stroll, Liam Lawson, Gasly, Tsunoda and George Russell first of his name. It's going to get techie. There are plot lines, no narrative story arcs that we need to watch out for and unpick over the course of the next 8 minutes and 30 seconds being, can Liam Lawson nail on Yuki Tsunoda? That's going to be interesting. So too, you have Colapinto versus Alex Albon. Colapinto's already got one up on Alex Albon this year, this race session, this race weekend even. And I'll be keen to see whether he can expand on that. You know what I mean? Keep his foot on Alex Albon's neck, per se. Kyle, I wonder how Red Bull are suddenly so That's what I'm saying, Kyle. It's just, mate, they haven't even brought any upgrades. No, they have brought upgrades. They bought the bloody, the gun barrels thing that they had earlier on. They've got the engine cover. They've changed the engine cover and they've changed the floor edges. So Ted Kravitz really wanted to say something in his notebook, in his post-sprint notebook. He was equally surprised that Red Bull are all of a sudden capable of such incredible exploits as what Max Verstappen put down in the sprint. It feels and I don't know. Nobody's told me this, but again, I'm doing the epiphany thing and trying to connect the F1 dots in the background with very limited knowledge. On Monday, you better know that I will pitch this at Peter Windsor. I have to. I'll be asking him straight away. Oh, the humanity genie. I've got to use it more regular, right? It's becoming a slogan, a calling card per se. Awesome support. I know Peter's a legend. Joma, you're a legend too. The moderators in here, absolute legends. The elite peddlers that continue to support the channel. I am humbled and grateful in extremis, and I mean that sincerely. 318 of you watching concurrently. Let's go. 7 minutes on the docket still in this Q1 of Kota qualifying. Herbert Morrison was the radio announcer in Lakehurst. Look at that, Macon. Got the knowledge, mate. I don't know. I defer to you guys in your infinite wisdom. Indeed, I've got a one day when I grow up, Macon, get in your slipstream. Do you know what I mean? As far as the breadth and depth of your knowledge. Colapinto got one up on Behrman. This is true also, Paisley. There are narratives. How's Behrman going to cope? Go on then. Let's get my eye on the prize now, because it's getting techie. We've only got 6 minutes remaining. Need to have a look at some lap times. All of them out on softs. Nobody. Such is the rates of the track evolving and the grip that's in there. Everybody's gone out on soft. Nobody thinks that it's worth chancing a set of mediums with a view to save soft compound tyres for later. It is hot around this track. There is grip in them red labelled soft compound tyres. But by extension, there is also high rates of tyre deg. We saw that in the sprint. Why? Because it was massively the difference between the temperature. Track temperature, by the way, 39.6 degrees Celsius. Air temperature, 28.7. I would be keen to see how that evolves over the course of the next 30, 40 minutes. Carlos Sainz. Oh, Charles Leclerc, 133.241. Scuderia Ferrari are quick, ladies and gents. But again, this is the rate of the track evolution, right? 39.6. I'm going to take a picture of this because we're going to need to cite that later on. 39.6 degrees Celsius is the track temp. 28.7 is the air temp. I'm taking a picture of that on my phone because there's no way that I'm going to remember it, and we're going to need to cite it later on because I only imagine it's going to get warmer and hotter and the track's going to grip up, and the rate at which the track is evolving is only going to increase. It's going to get techie. Go on then. Who's in the drop zone, eh? Shu Guan Yu. I mixed up between a hybridization of Shu Guan Yu and Sonoda, right? I was trying to read them both at the same time because I'm a noddy, illiterate F1 mind. In your drop zone currently with 4 minutes 14 remaining on the clock. Sonoda, Zhou Guan Yu, Hamilton, Russell. Look at Mercedes leaving it late again. Why do they do this to us? What's the point? So Lewis Hamilton fans around the world currently with 4 minutes on the docket having kittens. Why? Anyhow, there is a yellow flag. Don't they learn their lessons? My Mama Cameron would always say, those who can't hear must feel. Didn't they learn from yesterday how pivotal a cheeky inconvenient, very apropos yellow flag, how detrimental that can be for your chances of... It's Q1, chaps. You couldn't put in a lap time that got you through already. Mercedes now in 17th and 18th place in the hands of King George Russell and Sir Lewis Carl Davidson. What's the point? Why am I so stressed out already? This is nonsense. 269 of you watching concurrently, and I'm sabotage Ron Real. But these are going to be the calls, right? God forbid a Colapinto or a bloody Liam Lawson. There are too many rookies out there at the moment to rule out a cheeky yellow flag, and I am sweating and fretting now that my driver, Sir Lewis, again, is going to get... Is it cooling? It looks like it's cooling down, chat. T1. It's beautiful here. 83 degrees and a gentle breeze. I'm loving it, William. I wish I was there at the track. You know, I can't even lie. 3:14 if you're watching concurrently, as we're 2 minutes on the docket remaining of this Q1 session. Mercedes have left it late, though. Both of their drivers in the drop zone. But they're teeing up now. Both green sectors. Imagine if they... But you just can't. If I see a yellow flag, see where it says track clear, top right. If that turns yellow, then these lot are both toast. End up in another situation. 0.251 is the delta that... Go on and let's go. That's quick from Lewis, and I don't hate it. Verstappen goes purple, 25.016 for his first sector. Max just wants to win every second of every minute of every single session, right? Doesn't care. 37.3 from George Russell. Keep going green. I think Max Verstappen is about to jump right up the timing sheet and put in the quickest lap. He just wants to be quickest, doesn't he? There you go. As aforementioned, Max Verstappen goes fastest, top of your timesheet on a 1:33.046, puts in a purple first sector and a purple sector 3, just to bookend those. 30.768. Up there's a George Russell, first of his name. Put some respect on it. Goes up into third. All eyes on Lewis Hamilton then. Oh, shoot! Do you see this? Lewis Hamilton only up to 16th. Do you see what they're doing to me? 1 minute 12 on the docket. He's not got time to come in and get another set of soft compound. He's going to have to go again. For fudge's sake. Like, what's the point, Mercedes? Now you're just giving rise. You're just giving. For crying out loud. Crofty already announcing that he's out of qualifying. All right, look, we're going to have a shock already in Lewis Hamilton. 16th. So Lewis Hamilton lost the middle second, in half a second in the middle sector. For fudge's sake. Like, what's the point? Yeah, all the fans are devastated. I can hear the lack of atmosphere like through the screen. It's a massive shock that Lewis Hamilton was on the brink of pole yesterday, but for unfortunate circumstances, and now look out in Q1. You know what I'll say as well, for all the Lewis Hamilton fans around the world, each and every single time I put a poll out talking about who's going to put it on the poll, and Lewis Hamilton's name's not on there because the car is too SH1T, everybody's like, oh, Mama Cameron, the lights off, oh, why don't you put Lewis's name on the poll? This is why. Because his car's to SH1T, and Mercedes, the boys and girls from Brackley and Brixworth, are suffering from a ridiculous level of ineptitude and incompetence. What did I say earlier, a while ago, about 5 minutes ago, about Mercedes? Those who don't hear must feel. Lewis Hamilton is out in Q1. Alonso makes it through to 10th. Look at this. Honestly, I've had enough. Go ahead, sabotage. If you want to say sabotage at this point, or to play for tomorrow, Beether. I don't think so. Not from me. There's no way Lewis is consistently out qualifying Lewis. They're doing this on purpose. Mate, you got to go out there. They don't just turn the engine down in sector 2. They just don't. Lewis has made a mistake. There's a confluence of factors. Lewis made a mistake at turn 12. Exactly. Lewis is 18th, says Madeline, for crying out loud. Oh my gosh, Lewis is fuming over the radio. All right, guys. But again, for the avoidance of doubt, those who don't hear must feel. You sending him out now for? Yeah, no, you've got to be fuming, Toto. Toto's not happy at all. Look at that. Hiding his mouth. Toto's fuming. 357, if you're watching concurrently, are you going to give Lewis a hard time, Cam? Or are you waiting for Charles? Mate, Lewis made a mistake, right? But it's a confluence of factors, surely. Nearly put it on pole yesterday or earlier on or whatever, but I'm done. 444 of you watching. The ironies that lost on me. Jesus Christ. 444 of you watching. As my guy, Sir Lewis Hamilton, even Stroll's made it out. So your bottom 5 for the avoidance of doubt. Alex Albon, Colapinto, both Williams. Now that you've got a track that needs a bit of downforce, in addition to some slipperiness, some straight line speed. Albon, Colapinto out. Bottas. Hamilton out in 19th. Shai Guan Yu. Meanwhile, George Russell is up in 4th. Listen, you've got to put some. Look, if we're talking culpability pie and dividing it up, you've got to put some of that culpability at Lewis Hamilton's doorstep. As much as that burns me, but whoa, little bit stressful, says George Russell, first of his name. But again, he expects to beat Lewis Hamilton in qualifying now. Bloody Nora. This set. Go on, let's talk about Lewis then. Why does this keep happening to Lewis? There are a multitude of factors in that we'll need to unpick. First and foremost, this set of rules, you've got a ground effect car that doesn't like to be hustled along. And Lewis Hamilton is nothing if not a hustler of a driver, right? He hustles the car along, he brakes late, he swings it in at turning, combined entry, combined exit. Alonso gave a very good interview recently saying around this car, he was asked, why do you think we don't have any safety cars these days? And he said, this car, this spec even of ground effect car, if you're going to get 100% out of it, you almost need to drive it at 90%, which is counterintuitive, right? But again, that doesn't suit Lewis Hamilton's style. That's why when he's dawdling around in free practice, that's why you see 9 times out of 10 the best times out of Lewis Hamilton, because he's not pushing. When he gets into qualifying now and he's driving it at 100%, he should be driving it at 95 or 90, because it's this set of... You can't drive this spec of car as if it's 2007. Got to adapt. Got to learn and evolve. And I think the argument is, per James Allison, who gave a brilliant interview on the Beyond the Grid podcast, that Lewis's style doesn't necessarily, unless he adapts and evolves for it, doesn't necessarily suit this... in quali trim at least, it doesn't necessarily suit this style, this spec of car. That's the argument, and I will defer to those much more well educated on this subject matter than I. 4 foot. Can you imagine Benzi? Bloody no, I can't even cope. It's as if it's been done deliberately to poke fun at me. Just at the same time when Lewis goes out, 444 of you in the chat concurrently. Oh, the humanity. It's never been more apropos a phrase. Poor, oh, the humanity. But some will say that Lewis Hamilton naysayers, as far as the 2024 season is concerned, plus ça change, eh? The more things change, the more things stay the same as far as Lewis Hamilton's qualifying. What's that head-to-head with George now? For God's sake. Twitter is going to be funny in the end. Mate, you know what they'll be saying on Twitter? I should phone up Mama Cameron right now and she'd be like, sabotage. They need to stop sabotaging Lewis. They don't screw on his wheels properly and they turn down his engine mid-session and all this stuff. That's what Mama Cameron would be saying. There's no way that George is this fast. Well, I don't know, Mama Cameron, do you know what I mean? If you want to lean into your confirmation bias, then have at it. I think a lot of it comes from a lack of understanding education. Do you know what I mean? Motorsport is a sport during... Oh my gosh. He's locked up, hasn't he? Fudge. Crying out loud. I get what Alonso is saying. Thank you again. Far too kind, sir. I get what Alonso is saying. There's an old military saying slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Drive the car at 90% smoothly to get 100%. I gotta love that, mate. I love that. Far too kind again. Very well said. But that's always been the way as far as F1 cars are concerned, right? But never more than now in this spec of cars. Bloody Nora. Oh my God. Lewis will start 18th. I mean, that's not acceptable from Lewis. To go out is one thing, right? But to go out in 19th. No bueno. Sabotage, I say. They turned down his engine. Must have been tire pressures. You've got to laugh as a Sir Lewis Hamilton fan. Otherwise, you will cry. I love riling up both Team LH and Max fans on Twitter. Just as you think. Oh dear, what is going on? He'd be an F1 fan. Unbelievable. Lewis Hamilton out in Q1 yet again. I mean, levels of underperformance. There's confluence of factors in there, right? I can't just lay all the blame at Lewis Hamilton's door. That would be disingenuous and inaccurate, of course. But I mean, I am reminded of Checo, but look at them wearing the Checo Perez luchador masks, the wrestling. Big support of Checo Perez, of course, in COTA. Texas settings, massive Mexican and Latin American contingent. However, it would be remiss of me not to compare this level of poor qualifying performance to one Checo Perez. I've been super critical of Checo, right? And on this occasion, you've got to be super critical of Lewis Hamilton, for Pete's sake. Like, brilliant on his day, still 39, seem to be 40 years old. But the first thing they say goes is half a tenth for a tenth worth of pace. Lewis Hamilton, the biggest story for the avoidance of doubt in Q1, is out in Q1, beaten comprehensively again by his teammate George Russell. King George Russell, first of his name. Oh, don't call him King. He's not good enough to call him King. They will say, I will call King George Russell first of his name of Kings Lynn, Norfolk. Exactly what I want to. Put some respect on his name. Do you know what I mean? Lewis Hamilton is still a brilliant peddler. And for anyone to so roundly outperform that chap over the course of a season in qualifying, no less, is worthy of mention. I don't care what anybody wants to say. Can't believe Lewis is out. Me neither. Me neither. It's more like 5 tenths. Mate, he made a mistake. You got to normalise for the mistake and then compare and contrast to his younger, fresher, quicker in qualifying teammate, eh? This feels like a wake. You could hear the energy just get sucked out of the crowd as well, eh? As soon as they realised that Lewis weren't getting through to Q2, it's like, oh, half of them have come there to see Sir Lewis, bought 1 ticket for qualifying, and now they're, do you know what I'm saying? They only saw Lewis for, jeez. Why first of his name? I know a few George Russells. I mean, allow me, Rich. I've got to say that for the Game of Thrones reference, eh? First of his name. King George Russell, first of his name. Poetic license, leveraging some Grice's razor, if indeed you like yourself a cheeky philosophical razor there, which Juba says Lewis is disillusioned with his car, I believe, but he still can't. Does that give him carte blanche to go out and make a mistake like that, Chiba? It's a discussion that we're going to have, eh? Which is fastest out of all the George Russells. Let's go, Visual. I love that response. As a Lewis fan, I can control my disappointment. I drink McLaren F1 race. I might have to do the same, mate. I'm not even meant to be drinking alcohol. Oh, you'd think Lewis would learn to adapt by now, says Jeannie. Can't just be that. Oh, but it can, Jeannie. Oh, but it can. I think it's a confluence of factors. As far as these, I think Lewis's age plays into it. Not saying he's fallen off the hill just yet, but is he as quick as he was in 2007? I think we can all agree. Probably on balance, not. There's no way to evidence it categorically. But is George Russell him? Yes. Is he a killer? Yes. Is he super quick in qualifying? Yes. And the race. So I think there's a. I'm not gonna call sabotage though. That's just that would be my confirmation bias talking. That would be a lazy, low-hanging journalistic trope to which I shall not, no, will not cling. Why? Because we don't sacrifice true value nor objectivity at the altar of partisanship or fandom. Not even Lewis Hamilton's, as much as I am a big fan of Thatcher. Go on then. Who's coming out on used tyres? We have ourselves a Q2. I'm down now though. Can you tell? I'm I'm devastatingly my morale has just been sucked out of me like a lead balloon. I am now. Lewis out in Q1. I think it's the promise of yesterday. That's what's killing me. It's the hope of yesterday in the God tier sector 1 that was Lewis's. Mate, what's the point? Brundle, it's here. Brundle, what Brundle just said. Said very reminiscent of earlier in the season, this Red Bull. They've just reverted to type, haven't they? Libby Tamida said to Red Bull, can you make this interesting for a few races? Give McLaren, you're 100 points down the road. Give McLaren, do you know what I mean? Let it get to within 50 points or so and then bring back the proper Red Bull. Tinfoil hat conspiracy theory. But that's what it feels like. All right, 10 minutes remaining in Q2. Out for the avoidance of doubt. If we haven't already mentioned washed, I don't think so. That'd be Alonso. But you saw Alonso the other day. Maybe Alonso is washed. You never know with your prime. Just goes away like this. It just like vanishes in an instant. Right, out of Q1. Or out in Q1. This being Q2, of course. 10 minutes remaining of Albon, Colapinto, Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis Hamilton, and Zhou Guanyu. Maximilian Verstappen just puts in a purple lap, 1:33.052, sat atop of your timing sheets with 9 minutes and 36 seconds remaining. Gasly follows shortly thereafter. Sainz, Perez, Leclerc, Magnussen, Hulkenberg, Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda. George Russell shoots up to 7th place. Stroll then says, I'll see you, that King George Russell of Kingsley and Norfolk, and I'll raise you this. Boom, straight into 5th. Bloody Norris, Stroll's pushing, eh? I'm just watching the end to Stroll's lap. Who's on the money here? Oof. Esteban Ocon, look at that, sector 2. Purple sector 2 for Esteban Ocon. What is going on there? Only to be taken shortly thereafter by Nico Hulkenberg. I think this track is evolving, ladies and gentlemen. 38.7. We are evolving in real time. So the track is cooling. When I took my picture at the start of this session, the track temp was 39.6. Again, it's getting to that. You can see in the background, right? Air temperature was 28.7. So the air temperature has gone up a 0.1. Track temperature has gone down by 1 degree Celsius. Does that mean that... I think that means that the tyres are going to last for longer, but does that mean that... I think the track's just gripping up right. More rubber has been laid. Lando Norris, top of your timing sheet, 1:32.851. Wow. Quickest purple sector, 37.066. Sector 2. Holy smoke. Go on then. Currently in your drop zone, 1 Liam Lawson, George Russell first of his name, Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Lazy, Lance Stroll, and then Fernando Alonso. George Russell, commentators curse, Cameron, don't you speak too soon, up into 4th. That should be enough for him, right? Although, maybe the track continues to grip up at a current lick. 329 of you in the chat concurrently. Shadows are getting long. This is true. Dusky, isn't it? Over there at Kota. It is getting a little bit cooler, Crofty. Stop stealing my thunder, chap. I just said that. Is Crofty got me in his ear? Every time I say something, Crofty just goes and repeats it. I'm not having that. Crofty, he's watching the stream, isn't he, Chiba? He must be... Oh, dear. We don't use Celsius. Speak American. Andrew, when you say speak American, you mean American English. That's an oxymoron if ever I've heard, I know. I'd love to convert to Fahrenheit, but I know it's like times 3 point something. But my mental arithmetic isn't good enough. When Max has had an equal car, he beats Norris every time. I think even Mark sometimes when he hasn't had an equal car, F1 drivers are created equally, right? But some are created more equal than other. Max Verstappen is proof positive of that. Chiba, great minds think alike. I just heard him. I was like, hang on. I'm comparing temperatures in real time. Did you hear him, Alonso? But I'm a bit delayed on my stream, so maybe he said it before me and I heard him after. But whatever, saw Crofty in the paddock today wearing Cameron F1 gate. William, you don't know? Of course he's wearing Cameron. Had to jump on the stream as soon as Hamilton went out. Oh, Delaney, I've already done it, Delaney. I can't. PTSD, mate. Already my morale with 6 minutes remaining on the clock in Q2 is at record low levels. I thought that Lewis, the car appeared to be back, and do you know what I mean? It was also positive from a Sir Lewis Hamilton perspective, and then all of a sudden, Delaney, he made a mistake. Long and short of it is he made a mistake because Kota, he said, I tell you what concerns me with Lewis. I'll be honest with you. Canada, Silverstone, and Kota are Lewis Hamilton tracks. Nobody can tell me any different. Canada, I said in Canada, if George outqualifies Lewis at Canada, Houston, we have ourselves a problem. And it was very marginal, but George just about managed to outqualify Lewis because Lewis made that, he had an oversteering moment through the final turn, right, the Wall of Champions. That concerned me. Silverstone, I was like, let me see what Silverstone did. George outqualified Lewis again at Silverstone, didn't he? And maybe George would have won, but for a bloody reliability. Oh my discard it. I'm just judging it in longer form, right? Silverstone, you don't beat Lewis Hamilton around there. Canada, you don't beat Lewis. And Kota, you don't beat Lewis. Was George now out-qualified? Tell Liam to... Leaky Sonoda said, tell Liam to give me the slipstream. Stay in the middle. Bloody Nora. Yuki Tsunoda telling her, welcome to F1, Liam Lawson. So you want to be an F1 driver? Aye. You want to be an F1 driver? Liam Lawson, know your role, sir. Give me a slipstream. Oh no. Sacrificial lamb settings. 4 minutes on the clock, 20 seconds remaining. Lando Norris currently heads your timing sheets on a 132.851. That, ladies and gentlemen, for the avoidance of doubt, is quick 133.052 from Max Verstappen. Who have you got for pole here? Who have you got for pole? Unless Lando Norris has a car much quicker. Don't know why my nose is itching me. Bear with me. Unless McLaren have been able to give Lando Norris a car much quicker than that Red Bull. You just got to go Max Verstappen, eh? Makes less mistakes, less of the time, better driver, more experience, more dialed in, more focused. Understands more acutely the tax that needs to be paid to win races and so championships. I couldn't put it more succinctly than that. You know what I mean? Charles could go well as well. The Ferrari have looked quick, eh? Until it got to the sprint and Carlos Sainz handed him his ASS. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, tell you what, if Carlos Sainz can beat Charles Leclerc over the course of this championship, having raced one less race, courtesy of his appendicitis surgery, I'm telling you, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to run through the streets naked, and I don't care what anybody wants to say. I'm going to do it. And I have a bottle of champagne on ice, ready to cork that MF if Carlos Sainz can beat Charles Leclerc, aka modern day Jean Alesi, man who makes the most unforced errors. Although, if I'm going to lean into truth for a second and put down my bit and kayfabe, Charles Leclerc has been very, very good this year. They argued on the race podcast that he's been almost as good as Max Verstappen has. I think that might be a bit reachy, but I see where they're going with that. I'm about to jinx it. He's going to go and put it on pole now, isn't he? Charles Leclerc, watch. Crofty, stop using rap lyrics, chap. Charles Leclerc goes green, of course, 25.127. He's bloody no, he's on it, isn't he? He's going to go purple this sector 2, isn't he? Huh. Verstappen, oh my gosh, 132.5. Max Verstappen wants to win every second of every minute of every session. He does not give a fudge. Leclerc's about to go purple here, though. Mighty sector 2, 37 O's the purple sector from Max Verstappen, 37.1. I said it would be close, eh? 25, so he's losing. He's about 2 tenths down on Max Verstappen, but that was still put him at that run rate. If I'm forecasting forward, that would still put Charles Leclerc in second if he completes the lap and doesn't make any dodgy mistakes. Bloody Nora, look at Max, 2 tenths, so he's a tenth quicker in sector 1 and he's a tenth quicker in sector 2. I reckon he'll be a tenth quicker in sector 3. Charles Leclerc's about to go 0.3 shy of, so we'll sandwich, it'll be the meat in a, oh, he's gone third. Bloody Nora. Wow. 4 tenths. Oh my God. Chat, are you seeing this from Max Verstappen? What the hell? 388 of you watching. Dick's Maxica. He's destroying the rest of the field again, isn't he? A Maxica. A Max Verstappen massacre. All hopes are perishing. It feels like a sad day for F1 and a glorious day to be a Maximilian Verstappen fan. Some will say simply lovely as this dude reasserts his dominance 3 tenths down the road around the track that takes 90 seconds. Bloody Nora. 30 seconds remaining. Out, it looks like in Q2, Liam Lawson. Although Liam Lawson's got a lap to do, hasn't he? So Liam Lawson just lining one up. Carlos Sainz goes second. Wow, 132. Again, this track is ramping up, isn't it? Again, evolving. Or as all these guys, I'm preparing my review video already. I'm just going to have to eulogise about how good Max is. They said that he was a car merchant. Naysayers said he was just an Adrian New merchant, that he benefited from T-Tray gate, bib gate, bib adjuster, ride height adjustments. None of that's in play now. And now what? Look at him. 132.584. That's what. It's almost like the naysayers give this dude fuel. Esteban Ocon up into 12, still out. K-Mag, however, looking to set up another trolley train, eh? K-Mag up into 9th. Go on, all eyes on Liam Lawson, eh? Is Liam Lawson even doing a lap? What's the point, mate? Did he do that green sector before he came in the pits? Alonso goes green in sector T, 37.286. Tsunoda's going yellow, got no chance. Or does he need to even go? I think Alonso has a chance. Oh, Stroll and Alonso have a chance. A bit, there you go. Fernando Alonso goes into 9th, currently in your drop zone, as only Lance Stroll has a chance. Is Tsunoda, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Stroll, and Liam Lawson. Can Stroll knock out K-Mag? No, he cannot. He went green, and then made a mistake in sector 3. Lance Stroll flopped it. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. K-Mag is through to Q3. What's going on? That's bonkers. K-Mag truly trained. K-Mag, notably, beating his teammate for once. Nico Hulkenberg. It's almost like he's got a second life now that he won't have a seat. He's going to be replaced, superseded even by one Ollie Berman next year. And now he's driving free and single without pressure. Sans ramifications. 381 of you watching concurrently. We're going to get ourselves a Q3. I feel like I know what happens already here, you know. I'll be honest with you. Should we bet? That's why Alonso is the GOAT. That's why Alonso is the GOAT. Gets it done. Nico Hulkenberg saying, no. That sounds very disappointed. But you know what? You win some, you lose some, Nico. You've been brilliant all season, mate. The line of this season's made me a believer in future. We will look at Max different, like the way he has sat Norris down was impressive. Even the line, I'm telling you, bro. They're going to learn. Like Mama Cameron says, those who don't hear must... I wish Mama Cameron would take her own advice about those who don't hear will feel about Maximilian Verstappen. Do you know what I mean? Those who don't hear are about to feel when Max Verstappen goes... You know, when it goes purple towards the end of Q3 and everybody's like, oh my God, to the tune of 2 or 3 tenths. You can't beat Max Verstappen around this track. Should we just have it right? Should we just come out and be honest? If you give that dude a car that's equal-ish in machinery to the other 20, the other 19 even, then you're just not going to beat Max Verstappen around here. Sector 1 is just, it's almost like he designed Sector 1 himself. Do you know what I mean? Probably drives this every day for a couple of hours on his sim at home. Like, what are we doing? Nico just can't believe. I mean, sometimes, you know what I mean? It's sometimes you got to be behind your teammate, Nico Hulkenberg. What happened to Liam? I don't even know what happened to Liam. He looked like he was going to do another lap and then he cancelled. Mate, do you know what I mean? Ultimately, he's got to take his engine penalty. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. RB1 had more gains to make with their upgrades. Feels like a wake. Feels like a 9-night to me, this does. The biggest story to come out of qualifying thus far. The one they call Sir Lewis Carl Davidson Hamilton, thou shalt put some respect on his name, was out. Big mistake in Q1. Ultimately put pay to his campaign to make it through to Q2. How many times has Lewis not made it out of Q1 this year? More than once. I know that for a fact. Is it more than twice or thrice, however? I'll have to go back and double check my my crib sheets to find that out. So into Q3 shortly, which promises to be blockbuster. Again, I'm just waiting. At this point, we're just waiting for Max to come in and just nuke everybody, aren't we? That's what we're waiting on. It just feels like that track. You know, in like Godfather, like when they used to use that train sound to like denote inevitability. That's what I can hear now in the background. I can just hear that train. That Max Verstappen pole train is never late, right? It always comes on time on cue. I think I almost just estimate it. Benzie says no time set Lawson. I don't know what was going on there. Was he out there to... Oh, because he's got to take a penalty anyway, so they used him as a sacrificial lamb. They probably told him, Lawson, you're not going to get through to Q3 here. And even if you do, you're going to have to take the engine penalty. Soft landing settings per Christian Horner. So why don't you just go out there and give Yuki Tsunoda a tow? I think that's what they might. How harsh is that? Christian Horner. I would listen. Oh my gosh, look at that. Where are they? That looks very scary, mate. Don't fall over. Don't fall from there. Bloody no, my vertigo's kicking off. Do you need to walk all the way up those stairs to get up there? No, thank you. Although it's a great view of the track, eh? Elevation. Oh. Lewis on the interview. Did the car make changes? Lewis is fuming. Lewis says he had a failure on the front suspension during the sprint. Car was a nightmare. Should have started in the pit lane. Oh, the humanity, Lewis. No. Lewis is fuming. Can barely hide it. Lewis, pit lane start. Balance is bad. I have bad feelings for next year with Leclerc. Says Beef. This will be hard in the quali. I know it'll be hard for him to beat him in the quali, but he's got race pace for sure. Rest assured. Even if he loses a tenth or so with age, he'll give a. Charles Leclerc will have kittens trying to fight Lewis Hamilton in the race. Is this a 9 night or something? Like, is this a wake? Because it certainly feels like it as a Sir Lewis Hamilton fan. But I digress. Let me move. Unbelievable. What is going on here? This Lewis Hamilton thing gets from bad to... I can't wait to go scorched earth in the review video. Madness. What's the point? So Anthony Davidson getting into what happened in Hulkenberg. Why not Lewis? Because Hulkenberg got one session deeper into this qualifying session than did Lewis Hamilton. Yeah, Macon talking about the sprint. Oh, you can't even write it, can you? They better change out Lewis's con, start from the pit and call it a day. But how defeatist is that, Kayori? I mean, he's in 19th anyway, so it doesn't matter. They may as well, but to break park firme, take all the penalties, fix the car, and have a good race tomorrow. We are a couple of seconds away from a Q3, and I'm devastated. I'm hurt. Liam gave Yuki a tow, and Yuki is still in P11. Just depression all around, though. And Max Verstappen is about to destroy the hopes of F1 fans around the world who thought we'd get an interesting drivers' championship over the next 6 races. And no. Take 2 seats, Max Verstappen is going to say. Have a word. For the avoidance of that, I'm rooting for. I don't even like Lando Norris, but I'm rooting for him. And so too, rooting for Charles Leclerc. I would love for them to make this a competitive championship. But it will take for one of them to step up because Sir Lewis can't do it. I'm just so angry. Of course, bro. I'm still a Lewis fan, but 2024 has not been good for the brand. I don't disagree, mate. This is why the sabotage merchants come out the woodworks, right? Because it's just easier and more convenient to say that Mercedes. Then I don't think Mercedes have been. I don't think you can. I don't think they're immune from culpability. By the way, because Mercedes. I mean, how long are you going to be driving a rubbish car before you get sick and tired? Peter Windsor said it best, right? I'm surprised that Lewis didn't just sack it off. Driving a W13 for all that long. A car that was doomed, just a nonsense car, 0 pod with no balance and no reliability nor drivability, that was difficult to drive, 38 years old, racing bloody K-Mag and Hulkenberg. I can't be bothered. I've sat this off, mate. I've got other things to go and do with my life. Altruistic ventures and Hamilton Commission and Mission 44 and all this other stuff that I can inject my time into more effectively and efficiently. I saw Lewis Hamilton. I rewatched the interview, 10 minutes on the docket for Q3. I watched the interview with Naomi Schiff again. Lewis Hamilton spoke about living his life more intentionally. That before he was just a random walk, Donny, go on holiday and come back. Like he wouldn't plan his life. It's crazy that he says that, and he's been in this car so long, right? This car and this nonsense, trust the car, don't overload combined to the laptop. Look at this. We talked about this earlier, right? Driving the car at 9/10 rather than 10/10. Wow, turning and braking at the same time. Combined entry and combined exit. Okay, so he's got to. So Lando's got to do something special here to turn on this car. Otherwise, it's not going to work out for him. 436 of you watching concurrently. Do you remember when Lewis Hamilton went out and 444 of you were in the chat? Kayori Alonso just means he's older. I know he's 43, 44. 9 minutes remaining of this Q3. It feels like a wake as far as being a Sir Lewis Hamilton fan. Lando's going to have to do something special here, ladies and gents. Lando knows 24.992. Okay, so that's the quickest sector one that we've seen this session. All eyes on Max's. So 24.992 from Lando. He's on it. He's on it. Purple sector 2. 37.0 from George Russell. Oh my God. How's Max gone quickest already? And he hasn't set a time. 24.992. Oh, purple sector from Lando again. All right. But when they say purple, these are basically first time round. So the 36.88. K-Mag goes quickest on a 133.481. All eyes on Lando, about to top the timing sheets. Oof, Max. Oh my gosh. Max goes quicker sector 2 already. For fud's sake. 36.887 to beat sector 2 for Max. Lando Norris goes temporarily as a placeholder, top of your timing sheets. He needs favours. He needs a favour from the racing gods, and he needs for Max Verstappen to make a mistake. Oscar Piastri goes second, having done green sectors. 36.887 is the target for Max Verstappen sector 2, and he's going to be quicker. Incoming, that Max Verstappen train is never late. He's not quicker. Loses a 10th, so he's a 10th up. Okay, so it's techie. Lando's done a quick lap then. Max Verstappen is slower in sector 2. But again, I feel like at this point, that Max Verstappen train is never late. I feel like it's a placeholder of a provisional pole lap from Lando Norris. Let's have a look. All eyes on sector 3 from one Maximilian Verstappen. I feel like that's a very good lap from Lando. But I feel like we're about to see the difference between one Max Verstappen and one Lando Norris. Oh, he's gone second. Let's go, Lando Norris. Let's go. Max Verstappen goes second on a 133.361. Wow, 300ths is in it. Lando Norris, man, put some respect in your name. I take it all back, Lando. I was wrong about you, Lando Norris. Let's go. Lando Norris has the whip hand for pole. He's not bad, is he, Lando? Like, it's okay. So there are foibles. I'm not taking back all of the things that he needs to start doing, making less errors, etc., etc. But bloody Nora, Checo Perez, yeah. What? Oh my God, a second. Perez, now that Red Bull have sorted out the car, he's as near as makes no difference. 1 second away from Max Verstappen. 468 if you're watching concurrently. We have ourselves 6 minutes on the docket as far as qualifying. 3 remaining. Let's have a look at this Lando Norris lap, eh? Oof. Oof. Oh my gosh, he was on. Are they going to strike that off? Oh shoot. Are they gonna chalk off Lando Norris's time? He's close. Oh, he's so close. He's so close. Are the FI investigating this? 5 minutes remaining as everybody comes in for a second run. Checo Perez chalked off. How can you have a time so slow chalked off, Checo Perez? That's what I want to know. You're a second slower than Max, and you didn't even manage to keep that. You didn't even manage to keep that lap on the track within the white lines, and you're a second away. Max always improves. Go on then, Delaney. Who have you got? Are we going to get a cheeky vote out? Who have you got? And where have Ferrari gone anyway? Where have Ferrari gone? I'm nervous. Oh my God. How do you like it, F1, ladies and gents? Go on, you tell me who's going to do this now. Wow. Nervous. 4 minutes, 44 seconds on the clock. Jesus God. What's the point? What is the point? 460 of you watching Kakoti, do me a favour, smash a like as we are into the paid session proper. Wow. I just saw the 4 minutes 44 tick up on my screen. That image of the cars going into that trough and going up into turn one. Incredible. How do you like your Formula One, chat? We all need to get on Andash's level of going to... I know, I agree with you, Kyori. I need to be at there. I need to be there. Andash flight is expensive, though. Andash, are you there in person? With me as your eyes and ears? Max is, of course, 61% of you are influenced by my my pessimism. And Max Verstappen. I feel like... Go on, let's have a go. 417 of you watching, 3 minutes on the docket. Are these guys going to come out and put some 30 sets? So the track temperature is decreasing still. Started off at 39, now 36.3. Air temperature to 28.2. Changeable conditions. Track is evolving but getting cooler. Can Piastri step up already? Oh, mate. Doesn't like it around here, does he? Doesn't like it. Oscar Piastri is human, ladies and gents, but it is still his second season only. You know what I mean? Some people, myself included, talk about Oscar Piastri like he's been around 10 years. Like, second season, give the deed a bit of grace. Myself included, 400 of you watching concurrently, as we are about to get into the paid sessions. Oof. How do you like your Formula One? Refuel. Let's go again. It is going to get techie here. What is Sergio Perez doing? Track limits, turn 9. What an absolute numpty. Checo Perez looks like he's going 30 miles an hour, like he's obeying like civilian road speed limits, and takes too much curve and ends up going wide. What's the point? Forget it. Oscar Jack, oh, the humanity, bruh. Bruh. Yuki needs to take Sergio's. Man, I don't know what's going on here. Right. Are these pods coming out or are they not coming? What's going on? Okay, everyone's come out. Here we go. 1 minute 50 on the clock. Let us go. It's going to get techie. Perez having a nightmare. Mansell for pole. Sean a lazy for pole, maybe. Nah, modern day Sean can't do it. Just showing Max coming through the pits. Unsafe release. Oh my God, who's that? Oh my gosh, Esteban Ocon is a numpty. I know it's Gasly. Unsafe release. How are they going to release Gasly right into the path of Max Verstappen? Let's give him an unsafe release from now. Previous polls, look at this. 2023 Leclerc, 22 Sainz, Verstappen 21, 19 Bottas, 18 Hamilton. I don't think that's the operative question though. I want to know who's winning the races, and it's all been exchanged between Max and Lewis of late. That's the truth. It's been like Max win, Lewis win, Max. It's almost like they're exchanging victories around there. Both super, super good around there. Max and Lewis, by the way, I'm talking about, of course, as we are 1 minute remaining. Go on then. Is Crofty going to build to a crescendo or what? Some of these dudes are on there. Right, so George Russell's on a hot lap. 25-0. These like just talking amongst themselves like there's not drama. I'm going to fix for their commentary ills. 25-0, sector 1 from George Russell. 24-8, first sector from Max Verstappen. That indeed is the quickest sector 1. He's looking to solve for that, isn't he? Nobody's leaving any time on the table. Not anymore. Max Verstappen's gone out first before Lando Norris, and he's got clear air in front of him. 24.8. Lando goes 25-0. That's not improving. That's a yellow sector. All eyes on Max Verstappen. Then Kevin Magnussen goes green. Green sector 1, sector 2. Max Verstappen, all eyes on sector 2. Can he go purple again? Of course he can. Oh my gosh, yellow flag settings. It's done. Depending on where that yellow flag's come out. This might be over. Game over. Oh my gosh, yellow sector. Yellow flags have done over Maximilian Verstappen, 37.073. Who's gone off? Bloody Nora. Max was on a hot sector one. Mate. George Russell. What an absolute chaos merchant. Max Verstappen. George Russell has sabotaged one Maximilian Verstappen. That could be pivotal, eh? Over to you then, Lando Norris pole, mate. That's your pole sitter for George Russell's okay. That's a bad accident. Is he all right? Yeah, he's all right. He's moving. It's a big accident, though. Look at Toto Wolff's face. Toto, the boy who cried while fuming. Wow, double wave lever. George, no. Absolutely not. That car has been unstable. Yeah, you're right. He struggled, didn't he, Chiba? You saw him in qualifying trying to wrestle it. Each and every single time on the straights, he was catching Max Verstappen in the sprint shootout yesterday, but he couldn't handle himself a combined exit at all. The car was just twitching, trying to go ass about face. 384 if you're watching, Osama bin Russell, mate. Another, he's all right though. An error of the unforced variety. Oh, the humanity. Did you not get the impression that Max was just going to go and do faster? You just felt that Max was about to just turn the screw, eh? Tomorrow, 499 if you're watching, kindly do me a favour, smash the like. Lando Norris has the pole by default almost. But listen, you got to put the lap time in, right? This almost feels like the racing gods are giving him a leg up on the back of Baku, wasn't it? It was Baku or Singapore, I can't remember. When again he got done over by a yellow flag. He needs a bit of luck. If Lando Norris has himself even a hope, he'll need more than good fortune. He'll need the likes of Charles Leclerc to get involved between. Where's Charles anyway? Oof, right there. But Carlos Sainz out qualifying Charles Leclerc, by the way. Who knew? Who knew? Put some respect on Carlos Sainz's name. What do you mean? Carlos Sainz, man from Madrid. Vámonos. Vámonos, Carlos Sainz. Tienda. Oscar Piastri 5th. What's going on with that? George Russell will start in 6th. George Russell was pushing. Guaranteed this is going to be on a combined exit. Look at that on the exit standard. 100%. It's turned in and the car's just SH1T'd the bed. Standard. Knew that was going to happen. That's a bad incident though. Car is safe. 495 if you're watching. Bloody Nora, you guys and girls, silly AF, brilliant. Lando owes Russell a lot, eh? He does. You've got to be good to get lucky, and you've got to get lucky to be good. I don't disagree. It's brilliantly put. Some say that you'd rather be lucky than good, eh? Got Max smiling. Lando and Max. Stop laughing with Max, Lando. You can't beat him if you're best friends with him. Wow. I felt like that was why did he take his steering wheel with him? I think they have to. It's oh no, they've got to put it back. They've got to put it back. You're right. Chib, I don't know. Didn't see. Oh, we love it here. That's the end of your session. Oh, the humanity. Bloody Nora. Lando's dropped it on pole for cheetah circumstance. But he's going to need that. I'm going to say as much in my video in a minute. In my review video. Lando needs more luck than that. He needs everybody else to get involved. He needs Charles Leclerc. He needs Lewis to be there. He needs George to be there. You can't have Lando Norris winning every single race and Max Verstappen finishing second. And I don't know if there's too many men on that grid who have the minimals requisite to beat themselves. Maximilian Verstappen, not in this trim, not in this form, not when Max has had his Weetabix. Just don't happen. Cheeky Hinchcliffe interview with Max Verstappen. He looks satisfied. Look at the glint in his eye. It looks like he just knows. It's like these that haven't got spoke for me. They can't handle me. Get him just so casual. I think Max is a brilliant driver, but he's get-atable. There is a blueprint to get at this fella, right? And Lando needs. I don't know what the blueprint is to get at Max Verstappen. But whatever it is, Lando isn't effecting for it in real time. All this friendly stuff, travelling back on Max's private jet with him, and you know what I mean? It's all nice. But there is a tax to be paid, Lando Norris. for being a champ. That's why everybody, I can't be a champion. I don't have the championship minerals. Not prepared to pay the championship tax. I'm not prepared to pay the iron price. Max is. Lewis is. Nico Rosberg is. Those dudes are prepared to pay. So Lando, go and have a chat with those guys with a view to understand the blueprint, right? What you need to do. What is the iron price requisite to winning oneself a World Drivers' Championship? And if you're not prepared to pay it, then that's fine. But if you are prepared to pay it, the iron price, the tax, the requisite price to win yourself a Drivers' Championship, then you need to start paying that ASAP. There is 6 races remaining. The gap in the championship is 54 points. I will see you. We will reconvene, of course, 30 minutes before lights out tomorrow, where hopefully we have ourselves a race which will give rise to one Lando Norris, aka Lando No Wins, paying the iron price, the price requisite to win himself a World Drivers' Championship, because that's what F1 fans all around the world want to see. But I digress.